Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host, Eben, and today is a beautiful day here in Las Vegas. We're back with Hamlet, the racer on the channel, and we're doing an Audi A3. And what year is this thing? 2015 Audi A3. And these little guys, they get crazy gas mileage, super efficient. So to increase that efficiency and longevity, we're putting in the 100% synthetic European 540 motor oil. This is the MS, stands for mid-saps, and that is sulfur, ash, and phosphorus. Those are additives that keep the engine running up to standards, and it's not as much additive. So like mid is less than full. You'll see FS for full saps. This is mid-saps. Little less sulfur, little less ash, little less phosphorus. That can also keep the emission system clean, so it doesn't hurt anything, and also it's a emissions compliance ordinance too, as far as what the car emits for smog and stuff. So with that said, we're going to kick it off right now with the engine flush. This is Hamlet right here. Hamlet is putting in the engine flush. It's this super thin kind of additive. And now if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. That way you'll be able to come back and watch all this interesting stuff later. And this is going to really help clean out those turbos. So this is this beautiful golden detergent. Ah, look at that. Look at that. And that goes in the whole bottle. And what that's going to do, it's going to loosen all kinds of carbon around the rings, around the valves, any type of sticky lifters, all this kind of stuff that gets this gunk around the timing chains. If you have a turbo car, I think this is turbo. So on this car, it's a big deal as far as the turbo screen. That blocks any type of impediments from leaving the turbo in case something breaks. Well, that screen can actually get this buildup junk and all kinds of burnt. It's like burning butter in a frying pan. And basically, it's actually limiting it. And we did a one, we're going to idle it now for 15 minutes. But you'll see we did an A4 on Valerie's car. And she goes, wow, my turbo makes a noise now. So before it wasn't sounding right, so it can actually really mess with the car. So we're going to let you hear what it sounds like before, and we'll let you hear what it sounds like after. So this right here is before. Alright, so this here is the PI Performance Improver, which is already in the car. This cleans the valves, the injectors on multi-port fuel injection, direct injection like this car, everything. So it's very important to keep those injectors clean. It keeps your gas mileage up, more performance and horsepower, and then also longer life for the life of your car. And then you got the 4,000 miles is how often you put it in. And this bottle treats 30 gallons. So this is already in the car, and just wanted to let you know that's why it's running good. And it's all right. It's time to drain her down. We got 5.2 quarts coming out, and we got Hamlet here. Now he said that this did already have AMSOIL in it. There is the key. And where do you get those little things?
Audi.
From Audi. And show them where it goes in. Just point to where it goes in, right in there. That's it. And give it a turn. Just a little twister. Look at that cute little booger. It's adorable. And it's scalding hot. The oil temp's about 200. And it just shoots out. And this only holds 5.2 quarts. So it's not coming out with a ton of pressure. And looks good. Let her drain down. And if you're doing anything with racing, oh, there's the plug. And show them how small it is. Yeah, just take it out. That little teeny plug. So you probably want to replace that. I would say every couple of oil changes. You're better off being safe than sorry on that plastic. It can kind of deform with the heat. And but if you're doing anything with racing, reach out to Hamlet. He's the official racer on the channel. All his info's in the description section. His AMSOIL link, everything. So check him out there and check him out on Instagram. And now that's it. We just let it drain down. Then we cork her up, and then it's time to feel her up. right, time to go ahead and crack our oil filter. Little 32 mil socket, super easy peasy. And I tell you what, it's a cute little booger. I mean, that is an adorable little teeny weeny oil filter. So definitely, if you're going to be ripping on these little guys, make sure you're changing those filters sooner than later. So I think they're doing 10,000 miles on oil changes. That's what Audi recommends. The oil is easily good for the 10,000. It's just that the filters, they can only handle so much contaminants. So speaking of the filter, got a little teeny weeny Wix filter here. And the Wix filter calls for, I think, what are they calling for? Up to 10,000. I think I would change a little booger like this every like 5 to 7. Just to be super safe if you're ripping on it. If you're doing all highway, that's different. So there's the filter cartridge, a cute little stick. That pops out, and then you got your rubbers. And it's scalding hot, so he's a Iron Man for handling that cartridge. That cartridge is about 180 degrees. And
these gaskets and then...
yeah, we just change out this O-ring. We take that off, change that one, and put the fresh filter on. And we'll show you what the fresh filter looks like. You're just gonna set it down, and there's no special way. It's not a one-way filter. You can see it's non-directional. So there's the top and there's the bottom. So either way you can use it. And there is the fresh O-ring. Boom. Got our fresh O-ring. So he's gonna wipe it out. We're gonna clean her up, slap that on, and we're good to go. We're gonna crack a nice virgin quart of the 100% synthetic Euro. And this is where we get her nice and wet. Because as you guys know, the wetter the better. You got to keep things nice and lubed. That's the first start of anything you're going to do, no matter what it is. We got our helper. Thank you, Hamlet. Got the filter in. Just hit those threads up. Hit the O-ring. All this here. Get it all nice and wet. Good. He's a little shy with it. You know, everyone's got their taste and texture with it. But once you get it on there, I'll get in there a little bit. It's like pouring honey on pancakes. Some people it's natural, and if it ain't messy, it ain't fun. And you kind of sometimes it gets a little runny, but that's a part of the process. And now it'll thread in like butter. So we'll slap our cap on and we'll thread her in. Let's do it. Should thread in like butter. Like I said, he's an Iron Man handling that cartridge with his bare hands. That cartridge is like 170 degrees. There we go. Awesome. So yeah, you'll see how easy it threads right in. This little plastic thing's in there. There we go. Beautiful. And now we're going to torque it down to about, what is it, 18 Newton meters, something like that. Not that tight at all. With a breaker bar like this, you could easily crack it. So definitely just use a small ratchet. Don't use a big breaker bar if you're not used to doing tightening things.
I just did a little until it bottomed out by hand.
Yeah, 25 Newton meters is only like 18 pound-feet of torque. So you put 30, 40 pounds at the end of that breaker bar, and you can just shatter that cartridge. So always be easy. All right, it's that moment of truth to give Edwin the liquid golden torch. Here it is. Pour it in. The beautiful liquid gold. Don't blink. Watch. Behold the purity of the 100% synthetic liquid gold. No impurities. So pure, clean. And what that does is it keeps the metal separated, and it has much better shear stability under high heat, which the turbo creates. And that's going to keep your engine protected, more longevity, and it's going to last longer, and it's going to run smoother. And now we'll grab our extra gallon and we'll put our gallon in, and that'll make 5 quarts. So Hamlet was going to mention, what do we got here, a catch can?
A little catch can with a breather on top, just like my car.
All right, so that's going to help with recycling the blow-by stuff?
Keeping the blow-by out of the turbo so the turbo doesn't get oil crusted up in it.
Oh, very important. All right. So that's definitely important to have a catch can if you have a car like this, especially if you're running it where it's really hot.
pressure out too with this filter.
Here we go.
Not much on this car, but
Here we go. This is four quarts, 1 gallon. Here we go. So beautiful, so pure. And I tell people, if you love your car, this is what you do. You put the liquid gold in. So it's like a romance. Look at that. It's so beautiful and pure. I can even feel the protection. So the total feel on this is 5.2 quarts, but on the Euro cars, sometimes they can take more, so always get an extra quart. And then if you shift the car side to side, it can even have more oil come out, so you'll need to put more in. And a good example is like an S-Class Mercedes. I did an oil change, I think they call for 9.5, and I ended up putting 10.6 in. So it can be a big difference sometimes. So we'll put this 0.2 in. Shaboo-boo. All right, so before we go rip around the block, we're going to throw in some upper cylinder lubricant. This is a fuel additive, and it's got a child lock. It's a little tough sometimes to get to, but hey, it's worth it. If it ain't tough, sometimes it's not worth it. So it's got the gasless gas cap tip. You just stick it in, and what that does, treats 25 gallons of gasoline, and it puts a ring, basically a film around your upper rings that don't get lubricant from the motor oil. Kind of gets dry there, can get sticky, you can have a rough idle. This will actually smooth that out. You get a bump in gas mileage, your rings last longer, better performance, and then it has a stabilizer in it. So it's great for the winter or letting a car sit. You got that stabilizer already in it. And how I get that, I just grab a case of it. I think Hamlet's got a case of it over here. And it's like, it ends up being the price of a cup of coffee per bottle, and it saves you more money in gas than what it costs. So, all right, so she's got 59 on her, and we got Hamlet, the official racer on the channel. He's the driver, and our man that owns the car, we're just keeping him underground for right now. He just wants to stay underground, so that's the way we're going to do it. But we're going to show how smooth this car is. I mean, it is amazing. I'm a lover of the Audis. I love them. I guess I heard a couple people have some problems with them and stuff, but for the most part, I think the drive of it, the quality, I mean, it's just amazing how smooth. So smooth. Just an amazing little car. And the owner's got to get to work here, so we're going to get him back his car. But I mean, just want to show this car's effortless. Effortless. That's good. That's good. So smooth. I mean, just an amazing little car. Crazy fuel mileage. Amazing efficiency. Excellent handling. I love the seats in Audis. Just such a good car. So there you go. You got the whole works with the lube. We got him back his car, and we're going to get him to work. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Tap the notification bell. You'll be able to come back and watch a million videos on all kinds of nice European cars. We got classic cars. We got race cars like his beautiful Challenger, making mid-6 wheel horsepower. We showed everything on that. All the Hamlet's racing stuff is in the description below. Check it out. And then if you're new to the channel, I do a giveaway at every end of a month. All you do, leave a comment within the first 30 minutes, and I randomly select people. So that's the way we've been doing it. And then also, even if you miss that, still leave a comment, because I'm coming back now the next day and picking someone too. So you just never know when it's going to happen. So we'll keep it like that. And thanks again, Hamlet. You're the best.
Thank you.
Boom. Cheers to protection, protection, protection. Oh, and check out this video in the middle.